Hello, and welcome into another edition of Siena Saints Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Demos. In just a moment, we'll be joined by freshman volleyball player Taylor Akana, but first, let's take a look at the week that was in Siena Athletics. Well, Loudonville, New York is now the home to the only remaining undefeated and untied women's soccer team left in the nation. Following yesterday's 1-0 win over St. Bonaventure, coupled with Maryland's tie against Duke, only the Saints have won every time they've stepped onto the field this season. At a perfect 8-0-0, Siena opens MAC play this weekend with games at Manhattan and St. Peter's. Additionally, we'd also like to congratulate head coach Steve Karbowski, who picked up his 100th career coaching victory Friday night at Holy Cross. Congratulations, Coach. The women haven't been the only team, though, playing well on the pitch as of late. The men's soccer team also won both of its games last week over Central Connecticut State and Temple. The Saints erupted for 7 goals in their 2 victories and look to improve their record to an even 500 Wednesday when they host Vermont in a 3 o'clock kickoff at Siena Turf Field. Field hockey, meanwhile, lost its only game of the week. They dropped a home contest to Lehigh on Wednesday 4-0. The Saints returned to action Tuesday when they traveled down the road to take on crosstown rival UAlbany in a 4 o'clock start. On the links, women's golf finished 7th overall at the Yale Intercollegiate, powered by senior captain Catherine Chomo's 5th place result. Meanwhile, the men finished tops amongst all MAC competitors and were 8th overall at the Cornell Invitational. David Gushy led the way as he finished tied for 6th overall individually. Cross country was off last week, but returns to the course Friday when the Saints run in the Paul Short Invitational at Lehigh. Men's tennis dropped 3 close matches this week, losing at Hofstra 5-2 and to Hartford and St. Francis of New York by identical 4-3 scores. The men have 3 more matches this week as they host UConn and Rider and travel to Holy Cross. The women, meanwhile, blanked Hartford 7-0 on the road and have captured 13 out of a possible 14 set points so far this fall. The women look to continue to remain hot Saturday when they host Rider. Finally, the volleyball team opened MAC play with a split this weekend, shutting out St. Peter's in straight sets on Saturday before having the favor returned and being shut out yesterday by Fairfield. One of the Saints' key players so far this year has been freshman Taylor Akana from Kaneohe, Hawaii, and Taylor joins us now. And Taylor, welcome to you.
Hi, thanks, Mike.
Well, Taylor, you mentioned you're just a freshman. You've already gotten off to a great start, leading the MAC in kills for most of the year. Talk a little bit about how you've been able to get off to such a big start early on in your collegiate career.
Well, I think the team has been doing a great job of playing together and working with our setter Liz, and the passing has been very good with Brianne and Leslie, and the middles are working hard, and it's just hard because there's a lot of injuries right now, but everyone's doing their best to play as a team and work together.
Coach Pierre always likes to put together a tough schedule to challenge you guys at the beginning of the year. You opened the season going to Texas A&M to play the Aggies, also played LSU, a ranked team, and then more recently you guys went out to Oregon to play the Ducks. 3 big-time opponents. You were named to the tournament teams in both of those invitationals. Tell us about that experience of being able to go and play those big-time opponents in big-time arenas and perform as well as you did.
I really thought that those trips were great experiences. We just tried to get our flow as a team because it was like our first tournament, and I think we did pretty well defensively considering they're much taller out on the West Coast, and I think we've been progressing throughout the season since those tournaments.
You've had some injury issues as a team. Aubrey Bobo, top returning players, missed most of this year. Jasmine Brown, Amanda Salzville, 2 key players as well have been out, but off to a 2-2 start so far. So good in the MAC. How has the team been able to gel together where you have players playing out of position and different position, and it seems like the team really hasn't missed a beat?
Every practice we've been putting players in different positions, and everyone's been working really hard to accommodate the temporary loss of certain players for the season. And we just try to stay together as a team, and Coach Garvey has been doing what he can to help our team work together and get through this.
Taylor Akana, a freshman on the Siena volleyball team, is our guest here on this week's episode of Siena Saints Weekly. And Taylor, we know how well you started out on the road. The fans got their first glimpse of what you could do when you had the defending MAC champion Niagara in here last weekend. 26 kills as you upset the Purple Eagles in 4 sets. That really had to be a huge match for you. What was that like to play so well against the defending MAC champs?
I thought that match was really fun, and I was proud of our team because everyone tried hard throughout the match and did their best, and the passing was really on key that day, and the hitters, Sarah and the middles, were working really hard to hold the blockers and get kills as well.
We mentioned you're from Hawaii, and as a lot of volleyball fans know, Hawaii really a breeding ground for great volleyball players. Siena's had several of those in the past, and even now with Leslie Akeo and yourself. Tell us a little bit about the game of volleyball in Hawaii, and also maybe what influenced you to come to Siena as far as knowing that there was a long-lasting tradition of Hawaiian players who had come here and been successful.
Well, in Hawaii, most of the players are a little bit shorter than in the mainland, so it's important for us to be versatile and be able to play many different positions. And I came to Siena because of Leslie. She was my really good friend, and she played at the same high school as me, and she encouraged me to come here. And I've heard of the successful volleyball program here, so I thought it was a good place to be.
Close things out now, a little rapid fire as we get to know Taylor Akana a little bit better. Taylor, who's your favorite pro volleyball player?
Well, I really look up to Robin Amol, who is the setter for the Olympic team, because she's from Hawaii and she's an amazing athlete.
It always seems like there's a lot of giggling going on with your team, a lot of funny characters. Anybody stand out as the funniest member on your team?
I think Brennan would be the funniest because she is a character, and it's really hilarious when she tries to make accents like Garvey, our coach.
Do you have a good interpretation of that, impersonation?
No.
We'll have to ask Brian when we get her in here. One thing you wish people knew about you but don't?
Well, I guess I wish that people knew that I like to spend a lot of time at the beach, and I really enjoy playing beach volleyball because it's a totally different game than indoor volleyball.
Any superstitions you have as a player?
No, not really. I don't really believe in those kind of things before matches and stuff. I just do whatever.
Favorite food?
Prime rib.
Prime rib, good choice. Favorite TV show?
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Interesting. You see that new show as well, the new Hawaii Five-0. Any thoughts on that at all?
No, I haven't got to see it, but when I was back at home during the summer, there was casting calls for people to be in that show.
Really? Anybody that you know that was looking to go in, or?
One of my high school friends was going to try, but I'm not sure how that went.
Not exactly as the days back when they had Jack Lord on Hawaii Five-0, but we'll give the new remake a chance. How about your favorite movie?
Probably Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know what the answer is probably going to be to this one, but you can explain it. The player you relate to on the team best and why?
Of course, it would be Leslie Akeo because she's from Hawaii and we've known each other for a really long time, and we have a love-hate kind of relationship.
Really? Love and hate? What's the hate part, if you can share it with us?
We just disagree. We're kind of like sisters, but we get along most of the time.
Well, that's always good. Taylor, we thank you for taking time to join us today, and really been fascinated with your start. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Siena volleyball freshman Taylor Akana joining us, one of the top players already in the MAC in just her first month as a collegiate. Well, again, that's going to wrap things up for today's show. For Taylor Akana and our entire crew here in our Foy Hall studios, my name is Mike Demos. We'll catch you again next Monday for another edition of Siena Saints Weekly.